Hello, you're listening to Otaku Spirit Animecast. My name is Andrew, and I'm joined here with Chris.
Yo.
Today's episode is our Spring 2025 Anime Season First Impressions Part 3. Got it right?
Yes.
Three, I think. Yeah, 3. Well, I can see right here. Yeah, 3. 3. This episode, we're going to be doing our first impressions on the following shows. Mobile Suit Gundam GQuuuuuX, The Unaware Atelier Meister, ZatsuTabi, A Ninja and Assassin Under One Roof, Food for the Soul, Mono, Yandere Elf, Yandere Dark Elf, sorry. Don't want to get that wrong. It's a completely different race. From Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman, Summer Pockets, Makina-san. I don't know. We'll see how far we get. But that's like the goal currently. We'll see. As per usual, we'll just kind of take it at the pace that we want to talk about stuff. Don't want to rush things. Don't want to slow things. Anyways, as per usual, the otakuspirit.com is where all of our links are. So some of the links, ways to get a hold of us, ways to support us, all that good jazz. Greatly appreciate what it does. But yes, how's it going, Chris? Are you ready? Are you excited to talk about some animes?
Let's just go with that. Yes, I'm ready.
Yes. Ready to talk about some animes?
Yes.
We're talking about some animes. Announcement to the podcast listeners. Andrew has officially completed the mainline series of Mushoku Tensei.
Good job. So where are you going next?
Paul Gaiden.
Paul Gaiden.
And then I'm going to get into the 12 volume specials. So I'm just getting full on Paul.
Paul Gaiden.
Full on Paul stuff. It's his original story. Like his origins. Like I was telling people, there's like 8 extra volumes like that 7 Seas apparently just doesn't want to acknowledge. I'm like, you guys must hate money because there's crap tons of extra stuff. Mm-hmm. It's so crazy. Anyways, that's Mushoku. Let's get back into spring. Kick things off with Gundam GQuuuuuX. Unfortunately, you didn't watch that one, did you?
Nope.
Didn't even watch a single episode of it? Mm-mm. Because it's Amazon, you're like, ew, gross, Amazon.
No,
Amazon.
It's
or Gundam,
something else.
Gross. I don't like Gundam.
No, has nothing to do with Gundam.
Gross. It's Hideaki Anno. Gross.
Yes, that's probably it.
You don't like Hideaki Anno?
He's all right.
Okay.
I know. I got Gundam. A whole bunch of people hate me right now.
GQuuuuuX. They say Quaxu at some point. It's kind of funny. I just call it GQX because GQX is what they originally said it was said wise. So I'm sticking with that. I'm sticking that way. You can just suck it. Streaming on Amazon. The studio is Studio Kara and Sunrise. The source is original drama, mecha, sci-fi. Script and storyboard done by Hideaki Anno, of course, who's the creator of Evangelion. Script and series composition by Yoji Inokito, who of course has worked on Evangelion and Bungo Stray Dogs, and character designs by Take, who did Katanagatari, and of course apparently Pokemon. Everybody's I'm like all excited for seeing Take's artwork, and I'm like freaking all I can think about is Katanagatari, and just everybody else is like Pokemon. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess they did Pokemon character designs too. I guess for all those groups of people with the spicy art that they're more focused on the Pokemon stuff for some reason, like the loot the Pokemon trainers and characters. Anyways, that aside, we also have a mechanical designer that worked on Evangelion and Gunbuster as well. So, anyways, for those that don't know, this series is going to be a little bit interesting to kind of explain here. If you are familiar with the original Gundam series, Mobile Suit Gundam 79, this is essentially a playoff of that. It's an alternative timeline where, for those that missed the first episode of the original series of Gundam, it opens up with this idea of this one side where they have this Federation force is currently developing like this special Gundam, and that Gundam is going to change the course of this war because essentially mankind has moved to space. They have space colonies, and at some point, this Principality of Zeon has declared independence, and they want to fight against the Earth Federation forces.
Right.
They want that independence. Well, the first episode of the original series opens up with like Char, and he's like scoping out this side to look for this secret weapon, and then the original main character Amuro jumps inside the Gundam, pilots it, and they get the hell out of sight. They get spotted with the new mecha. They jump inside their ship and get out of there. With this slight alternative here, everything kind of plays out the same, except for Char gets an urge to go, you know what? I'm going to claim my glory. And he just jumps in there, and he actually finds the Gundam before Amuro does, and pilots it instead, and thus they defeat the Federation forces with their own Gundam.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's sort of the beginnings or the backstory of this particular Gundam series. So You don't need to know too much of the original Gundam series, but there's going to be a lot of references to the original series that you probably get a better experience if you at least watch the new Mobile Suit Gundam Origin series, because that'll tell Char's origin story anyways. But
so that explains why we were seeing Char in it.
Sha, yes. Sha. But yeah, and Shalia Blue and Bull, Shalia Bull as well. But anyways, yeah, this doesn't necessarily follow Char, but he does take the Gundam from the original series. It gets painted red because obviously Char, the Red Comet, likes his red Gundams or his mobile suit. But yeah, he paints it red. They fight a bunch. At some point, there's a Zeknova that goes off, and then Char goes missing. Then cut forward to the current point, which we have this one space colony. We have the appearance of our main character, which apparently is, I think it's Machu, which is Amate, which is this girl that lives on this space colony. She's just trying to, has dreams of, like most space people, that they want to go to Earth some point and, take a swim in a real ocean, all that kind of stuff. At some point, she ends up spotting this one girl. What was it? She gets bumped into by this girl that was a carrier, and the carrier was trying to take a key to sell it to this underground mobile suit dueling ring, because essentially, since the Federation forces had lost, the Zeons allowing different civilians to have disabled mobile suits that have their weaponry keys removed, thus they can't use live ammunition or any kind of weaponry. But if you can, find somebody who knows somebody, you can get a hold of one of these little keys to allow your mobile suit to be able to use weapons, and then they use those in these underground duels. So yeah, she was delivering one of those. She goes down there. They end up getting caught up in this exchange that's happening between this red mobile suit that has suddenly shown up, and the Zeons that are currently trying to track it down. The military police can get involved. At some point, yes, this one new mobile suit that the Zeons are working on, for some reason, is the guy gets out of it. And so Amate, of course, the main character, has to get into it. And thus she's piloting the thing around, and then suddenly the Red Gundam shows up, and the two of them are kind of a pair. What kind of follows this is that Amate ends up meeting the boy that is piloting the red mobile suit, because the two of them have sort of had a new type awakening. So they've made a connection. She's seen this sparkle, kiraz, that is something that she so desires to, experience again. But what it sort of turns it into is, again, Amate, who is this girl that somehow came across this mobile suit that's really powerful. And you have Shuji, who is this boy that is fighting this mysterious red Gundam. The two of them fighting side by side in these underground duels in order to make enough money so that Shuji can buy a spacecraft to get back to Earth, because he desires that. It seems like a lot of what is driving Shuji as a character is in the fact that he wants to do whatever this mobile suit is telling him. He claims that this red Gundam is talking to him and wants to go to Earth. Now, there is a lot of kind of nods to some aspects of the original series, like at some point we hear the Lala song going off, which is apparently, or for those who don't know, from the original Gundam series, Lala is a new type character that Char finds, and whenever she is piloting the Saikamu, his mobile suit, whenever it reacts to her, whenever she's fighting, everybody hears a song. And so that's sort of what they kind of experience here. So I'm kind of in this realm where I'm kind of wondering if they're probably getting to the area of, is Lala inside of the the mobile suit? Is that what's talking to Shuji? I already had previously this mindset that if there's a possibility of Char himself being in the mobile suit, but that's where I'm sort of getting into my realms of what I'm liking about this show and not liking about the show. First of all, I do feel like this is probably, no matter what I say, probably going to be a confusing show for new Gundam fans to jump right into. Like, obviously, Gundam Witch Mercury here, the recent one that came out, was much more accessible to the general public because it's an alternate timeline. So people were able to jump into it without much knowledge of the series overall. It just kind of gets you slowly built into it. With this one, with all the references to Char, to Lala, to Saikamu, to the Zeon and the Federation forces, all that kind of stuff, it could be a little bit confusing there. And even as I'm sitting here explaining the synopsis, it's kind of that realm where I'm kind of going, should I over-explain this, should I not? And that usually is a sign that it's probably going to be a struggle to be accessible to a lot of people. even still, I think it's one of those ones, if you don't overthink about a lot of the references and people they're talking about, I don't think it's going to matter that much. But at the same time, I do kind of wonder how deep the story will end up going. What is currently seemingly the main focus of the story is Amate, Nyan, and Shuji. These three kids. And the mysterious Shuji who just shows up out of nowhere with a Gundam that he's able to talk to. The kid that has seemingly everything, Amate, that seemingly wants to have more. She wants freedom. She wants to get away from here. She just doesn't want to be shackled by bothersome mom and school and everything sucks. And now this cool Shuji guy shows up on a motorcycle and he's super cool, mom. You just don't understand. He's going to take me away from here. We're gonna ride off into the sunset together. He's gonna take me to Vegas, mom. And then this Nyan, who's seemingly a girl that's like a part of, I'm guessing the refugees that is just trying to make a buck, just struggling to get along, possibly trying to get out there too. The main core focus should be those three, but with so much focus on it being about the dueling stuff, I'm kind of curious how much time they're actually going to spend on that, because I don't really care. Like the dueling stuff, I don't really care. I didn't care for it, and even the little bit they did in Witch of Mercury, I'm not going to care about it here. The thing that's fascinating me the most about this show is the tie-in with Char, and that's where I kind of, again, get my difficulty. I am kind of curious what Hideaki Anno is going to do with the show. Is he going to Evangelion it? Because like they have these little small references to, like, at some point when they first get the mobile suit down there, this new Xeon mobile suit, it's obviously played off the Gundam. They get it down there and they start checking it out and they say, it has teeth. Why does it have teeth? And they're like, oh, it's probably a gimmick. And my mind immediately went to like, holy crap, you talking about a mecha with teeth? Oh, we know where this is going. Oh, we know what is it. Hideaki Anno, you're going down that route. And then, like I said before, like, them keep talking about the fact that the Seknova went off, but they can't find Char. And it's like, I mean, is he just melded with a mobile suit or whatever? Is he gone like forever? Or is he just like, fused with it? And then suddenly again, the Lala song goes off and I'm like, well, is Shuji a clone of Lala, or is it the mecha itself is Lala inside of there? Like, I'm already getting these really crazy theories on the idea of just not just, I mean, technically Gundam Witch of Mercury went into the realm of, putting a person inside of a mecha as well. So it's not like it's a new thing to the Gundam series, but you get into any kind of hint that this is going to be like biological mecha, and I'm like, yeah, Hideaki Anno, you're going to totally do that, aren't you? You're totally going to make this thing, somebody's relative or something. The Gundam has always been some person is embodied it or whatever. Or it's biological in some way. I don't know. I'd be curious. I don't think any significant damage has happened to the Gundam yet, so we can't have like possible blood gushing out of it or whatever. So we'll see in the future. It's been my only big problem with the show. Like as a longtime fan, I do love a lot of the references and the playoff that it has done. I actually like this kind of alternate timeline thing. I'm enjoying it through and through. My only difficulty that I'm really facing with the show so far is, while its directing and visuals and the style and everything is great. Again, I love Takei's art. And I think they're doing a decent well of kind of blending it with, again, Char's not Takei's art. So they're doing well with her designs and not really having it mesh with the other characters well. My only problem is animation. Like, this is Gundam. This is Sunrise. Studio Khara. Like, the Sunrise. This is Gundam. Did I say it was Gundam? Typically with Gundam, I just kind of expect like a high caliber. Like Witch of Mercury, like it or hate it, still looked great. Before then, like Iron-Blooded Orphans, phenomenal. Origins, phenomenal. Like, Gundam is the cash cow for Sunrise. Like, it just prints money. And to see any like lack of like real bombastic animation really does puzzle me. Like, it's not just in, like, it's the original 3 episodes. Like, this, for those who don't remember, this is a series that had a 3-episode theatrical showing. And so the first 3 episodes should have looked theatrical. It didn't. Like, I don't know. I didn't really check any reviews at the time, other than hearing some peeps about people being upset that Machu shows her her briefs. Like, oh my gosh, she's upside down. Like, I heard that there was like underwear. It's like too much fan serve, and I'm like, there was only one scene where she was doing handstands. Is that what was setting off everybody? Was the fact that she had briefs on her skirt and she was handstanding? Like, come on. My gosh, people, calm down. Anyways, I didn't really read much on it, and I'm kind of puzzled because after watching, 4 or 5 episodes at this point, it's not getting better either. Like, it was not great animation before. Even like outside of the fights themselves, there was just a lot of like those moments where like there was one moment where she threw something and Yan went to go catch it, and then she jumped up, she grabbed it before she can get it, and then she like looks like she's gonna topple over, but then suddenly it cuts away and she's on top of Yan, and you hear the sound effects as it cuts away to a random shot of something else. So it's one of those things where they didn't want to animate the character falling on somebody else. Like, what are we doing here? And then like the fights themselves, which I don't really mind the CGI usage because they typically have really good models for the characters and the mechas themselves. I don't really mind the use of the CGI itself, but the fights themselves have not been clever. The backgrounds are so uninspired when they're fighting. It's just mostly just action lines, with the mobile suits as well. Dark environments, nothing to the backgrounds themselves. No good, like, give it like a good cast off from like the stars or the buildings or something, the night lights of the buildings or something like that. Give me something of a backdrop to these characters fighting, and not just having constantly either the characters flipping around in circles with the mechas, or it's just, action stills with the mechas themselves just kind of going. It's like it feels so uninspired. Like, the fights themselves are they're so bad. Like that, I think of everything. Like, I can let the whole like cut animations with Mate and Yan, because the directing around the scenes and the visual shots and whatnot with the characters in the city still look good. But the mecha fights, I think that's its weakest. Like, that is where it is at its strong. Its worst is the mecha fights. They don't feel good at all. It is mostly characters screaming, and I don't really care what's happening. Like, it doesn't feel like impactful. Like, the only time that I really had a good impactful moment was like at the very end of the recent episode with Shiko, and that was really because, yeah, nobody wanted that ending. That's like the worst ending in a history of Gundam in a long time. It's just like nobody's happy. Like, I have not seen this much fan art of a character in a single week in a long time. Like, people love Shiko. There's just art pouring everywhere. There's probably some massive regrets from the studio and the team now that like a week has passed and literally every feed is full of Shiko art. Because I mean, Shiko is like the most Take art that we've seen yet, so it makes sense. Like, even Amate and Yan, even Shuji, they don't really look that Take, but Shiko is very, very Take, so I can see why. Plus, she was a MILF. It's like Take's art / Pokemon / MILF character, and then suddenly fan art goes crazy. People thirsty for the character. But yeah, like, overall, I feel like I've been kind of all over the place on this one. I am enjoying it. Don't get me wrong. I am thoroughly enjoying it. I'm enjoying covering it on a weekly basis on my channel. So if you are looking for somebody that covers a series, I am doing that. I love the callbacks to the original series. I wish the animation was better. The combat sequences are very lacking. But hopefully they can kind of turn it around. I'm curious if it'll end up being a single core or 2-core. My assumption at this point is if they are going to do multiple cores, it is definitely going to be a split core at this point, because it just doesn't feel like they have enough of their game together that they would be able to pull off 2 cores at this point. So we'll see though. That's Gundam GQuuuuuX. What is next, Chris? The Atelier, right?
Yep.
Atelier. The unaware Atelier. The boy is super OP but doesn't realize he's OP. Number 55 of the year. The unaware Atelier or Kanchigai no Atelier Meister Iu Party no Moto Zatsu Yogakuri ga Jitsu wa Sento Igai ga SSSS rank Data to Iu Yoku Aru Hanashi. Oh my gosh, dude. Freaking titles. Like, it's like we got the first part, I guess. We got the first part. I'm guessing the second part is kick from the party. I'm actually
useless.
Only SSSS rank in not combat abilities or something like that.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. He has SSS in all non-combat abilities. Anyways, running on Crunchyroll for 12 episodes. EMT squared. Source of light novel, action, adventure, fantasy. Director is Hisashi, who did I'm Quitting Heroing, Kuma Bear, and series competition by Deko Ako. So there you go. This one opens up with the boy named Kurt, and this is the one I was talking about last week. Almost got it messed up last week. Kurt is part of this really cool adventure party. They're super strong, and then they're like, get lost, deadbeat. And they kick him out.
Yep.
Something like that.
Because he's useless.
Yeah. And then they get mad later on because he was cooking for him. And it's like, well, you just kicked the dude that was cooking for you out. What the hell you expect? Anyways, yeah, he's out. And I haven't a damn clue anymore. The first episode's like a total blur for me. Like he goes out and he starts to look for another job. And he gets like these odd jobs. Like he was helping them reconstruct the outer wall of this one town. And he finishes it in like in a day, and so they had to fire him because they supplement like the work to these people, so they can get fed, and they're not gonna have any work to actually get fed, so they're like, oh, I gotta fire you, dude. But yeah, he ends up like going to this one job where he's kind of poked in the direction to. Well, no, he ends up overhearing this Yolishia. She's complaining about the fact that she's looking for help because she's got to mine up some ore because their land is gonna get in trouble. And so he's like, I'll help. And she's like, oh, man, whatever. Nobody else want to help me. Let's go. So they go out there. He starts like mining up the land that she's in her domain. And he's just like processing all the gems and whatnot that he's finding into like extremely condensed like gems of mana. And she like takes it over to this person to kind of check it out. And they're like, holy crap, this is like national security levels of things here. Mm-hmm. Who is this boy? The queen's gonna want to know, and she's like, I don't want to tell you. That's I don't want to ruin his life by letting you guys know. Kind of turns this whole thing where like they want to protect him as like they want to like grant him the position of Atelier, Meister of this land, in order to put him into some protections. Otherwise, some other kingdom might actually exploit him. So they're trying to sweep him up. During that whole point, he ends up going to this one house where he was going to help with some cleanup work there, but then he like goes down this hallway and ends up finding the princess of the kingdom. She's there and she's cursed, and he feeds her soup that cures curses and then disappears. Like for a minute there, it was kind of turning into like a golden boy situation where like he just shows up and it's like he seems like he's gonna be useless, then he does something incredible, and then like by the time they realize it, he's gone.
Yeah.
Come back, Kentaro Oe. Have my babies. But yeah, eventually they find him again and tell him, okay, we're gonna build this place where it's gonna be this new shop for this Atelier of the kingdom. Not with him not knowing that it's going to be him that's going to be the Atelier, and so he builds this big massive mansion, and they start staying there, and he appoints himself the room that's in the was the cupboard of the kitchen or whatever. Like he's not going to have a room. Anyways, what's your thoughts?
I actually like it quite a bit. It's kind of just cute and goofy. I love the characters. I do like the kind of unaware nature that he has. The tendency for him to just do things above and beyond and not really intending on doing things. And then every time anybody calls him out on it, it's usually this kind of like, I don't understand what you mean. This is not that level. And they're yeah, it is that kind of Sugoi thing that we talk about here and there. But I don't know. It just seems kind of, he's just a genuine good boy, and he just tends to go all out, and I like it, and I do love the in a lot of cases the weird nature of a lot of the things that they're doing. And what Andrew was talking about with the little stone, they were talking about how it yeah, it's a mana stone, but it's designed to take in the mana and has a special protection about it that keeps the mana from overdoing itself. So I do like that it's trying to kind of mill things in there, and hopefully that this will work out into a really interesting little world that they're building here. So yeah, I'm liking it.
It's not bad, but I think my biggest problem with the show is that it's just it is one of those rare cases where I think by the time I finish an episode, I've completely forgotten about half the episode, because it's just like, I guess I just completely tune it out. It's not that it's... I don't mind Kurt as a character, but he is very...
He's Bell.
He's out of it. Like, it just seems like he's like a 5-year-old in a 16-year-old's body. Like, super pure, and it's to the realm where it's just not entertaining because I see no value in his existence. That's the main thing. Like, he's literally just like a walking tool. And it's sadly, that's like literally the point of the story, is like everybody wants to protect him and keep him away from like somebody exploits him, but he's literally just this tool that runs around smiling and just doing amazing things, and it doesn't seem like he has any sort of agency in himself. Very briefly, we got a sense that like he's traumatized by the fact that, you know, he was so mistreated in his previous party. Like they literally seen him as like the scum, that he was worthless, and so thus it doesn't seem like he wants to accept anything that he does as special because, well, they told me that I was horrible and that I was nothing that was special about me. So obviously I'm B rank here. But even though he's literally SSS and everything besides combat. But besides that, it just seems like he is literally just a blob of male moe. Like, he's a blob of male moe, just going around being moe and having no
I see
purpose.
him a lot as like I said, he's Bell Cornell. I put him almost in the same category.
I made that joke initially when we see the PVs, yes, but I don't. That's like a massive insult to Bell, and that's saying something. Like, Bell Crannel, at least with him, he had like a drive and a focus. He wanted to be. He was going after Eyes Wallenstein. He wanted to prove himself, and he was constantly, you know, going back and forth. I see zero agency in Kurt. I see no purpose in his life besides job, and that's it. He's literally again a tool. Whatever people say, we need this done, he does it, and it just doesn't seem like he has any sort of care one way or the other. Like, I see no value in him. Like, he could literally be. They could have literally made this show about a wand that appears in the middle of a city, and waifus discover the wand, and it cures, you know, curses on the Salat. You know, it makes mana gems out of resources, and it would be the same story. It would literally be the same story. But that's my biggest hang up. Like, these characters are super forgettable. Like, I literally have, I feel nothing of personality with each of them. There's a little bit in Yalicia. Like, I do kind of like her character, her being like a little bit flustered about how like nonchalant he is about his powers. But that just kind of extends to everybody. They all kind of do the same thing, so it's not really unique to Yalicia anymore. Like, initially it was her thing, it was funny, but these characters are so blank. Like, Lissalot's got no character to her. She's just dead set on Kurt because Kurt saved her from a curse. Shrug. Okay, what else? Like, the Cena girl, like, she's in the entire Vitcher party that he was with for a brief moment there. Like, they're all about to die, and he dismantles all the golems in one shot. And then now she's like, wow, he's actually incredible. Why did you guys not tell him? Okay, now I'll hang out. Like, you guys just got told that you're going to stay at this building where they have the princess of the kingdom who is people are trying to kill. and this boy who is extremely OP. And why are you... Okay, first of all, this party that nearly got wiped out by a group of goblins that Yulishia, like, literally one-shot it all. This party nearly got wiped out by a group of goblins, and you're now entrusting them with the secret that you are now protecting the princess of the kingdom, who is currently being sought after for assassination, alongside a national treasure of an SSS rank crafter miner.
You just broke my brain.
It's a group of 3 individuals who are literally like F rank adventurers. Why are we entrusting the future of the kingdom to these 3? Because they party with Kurt at some point and they're like, man, he's crazy. Just like, yeah, crazy, right? So pace out, find an actual group that can actually protect them. Whatever. Because, I don't know.
He did kill the assassin guy.
It's Shrug. No, he made him bright and they killed him. He made it reflect light back to the caster, and instead of getting caught, the bad guys killed him. That made sense at least. Don't unmake sense to that. It's done. It's like zero value to the show. I probably will be dropping it at this point. I just don't see... The writing's super weak. The characters are weak. Animation isn't great. I don't see any point in watching any more of it. So there's a Sugoi show of the season. I didn't say Sugoi one time. You get that?
I did.
You did, yeah. I'll let you do it. Oh well, that's the ultimate. The unaware Atelier Meister. Oh, what? I'm overpowered. Anyways, ZatsuTabi. Let's go to another unfortunately forgettable show. Another unfortunately forgettable show. At least this one doesn't offend me. ZatsuTabi, That's Journey. Or the Japanese title is ZatsuTabi, That's Journey. This one is streaming on Crunchyroll for 12 episodes, done by Studio Makaraya. My gosh, I haven't heard that song in forever. Source is a manga. Genres are adventure, comedy, drama, slice of life. Director is Masaharu Watanabe, who worked on ReZero. Anyways, this one opens up with Chika, who is... See, I'm trying to see if I can remember the stuff, because it's like literally feels like 2 weeks ago. Who is a mangaka who I think originally they won an award for like this contest and got the manga like published and everything. So like they seen like early success, but ever since then has not been able to produce like a good work of a manga. Like everything they're proposing gets rejected. Well, at some point while she's kind of in this little slump, she decides randomly that she's going to send out a message. Like she's going to go on a journey, like look for a little bit of inspiration. So she posts out on social media, I'm looking on going on adventure. Which direction do I go? And it was like up, down, left, right. And so the idea is like whatever direction people vote for on the social media platform, that's the direction she'll go out of town. And so sure enough, wake up the next morning and it looks like her senpai like retweeted out. So like tons of people, like it took off. So it got tons of votes. And so she's like, okay, well, they all chose. So she's going to go on her adventure. She jumps on the train, goes out in the middle of nowhere, finds adventure. And at that point, returns home after kind of exploring the area, goes back home, kind of likes how everything's kind of changed a little bit for her. Decides to write some more, gets a little inspiration. All of it gets rejected. Back to square one. And then she sends out another post and says, okay, what next time, guys? I'll go on an adventure again. And then, gets a bunch of different votes, and then she goes out again. It's basically the gist of ZatsuTabi. Yeah, this one. I find the show to be charming. I find this show to be very charming. It is very much so in the realm of something like Eurocamp. It is very much so in the realm of advertisement for areas. It's the Eurocamp advertisement for areas. The later Jocelyn Chen dropkick stuff here, where it's like we go into this place and insert promo for restaurant slash bridge slash landmark slash shrine slash whatever. There is technically in Japan this little system where they can, by promoting a location, they can get credits. So a lot of people and creators like to do this kind of stuff. Not to say that's like their only goal for a creator is to do that. A lot of these mangakas like to travel. They like the sceneries. This is like a genre in itself, and I think it's something that is, many would probably say Eurocamp probably popularized it, the idea of the gets away type of storytelling. It's the journey, see the character going to location, seeing the sights, gives you cool ideas that if you're ever in Japan, some place that you might want to check out, that kind of stuff. There's definitely a market for it. I will say, I'm trying to remember if this was the one that I was thinking of. I did really like the first episode of the show. I felt it was very relatable in a sense to Chika's story and the idea of what she's kind of struggling with. And then again, I felt with her, like just getting out there and just getting on a train, going out to some location, all that kind of stuff. I felt that sense of adventure and getting away from everything. So I was like really on board with the show. But if I remember correctly, the second episode kind of was when it actually got advertising. Like, I didn't feel it in the first episode. I felt it in the second episode. That's where it was like, okay, now we're feeling like we're just going to places. I don't really care. Have the characters at least have some fun dialogue or talk or exchange over the. You don't just show scenes. I don't just need to see a slideshow and them going to the different locations. Give me something. And that's where I was kind of feeling like, okay, this might not work for me. Like this is feeling like I loved Eurocamp early on, like early seasons of it. Really liked Eurocamp. It wasn't until like later on in the series that it started to feel like I was being sold to, like I was watching literally an advertisement. So I don't know. I hope it can kind of dial it back. I still really like it. Like there's this whole bit where she ends up going out with an old friend and whatnot. They go traveling together. And it was really sweet in the end of it. It kind of felt like one of those moments of like, if you're having trouble, kind of reach out to me kind of moment. Like somebody's literally saying, hey, I'm here if you need me kind of thing. Like it was a very much so a sweet little moment of kind of reminding somebody that there's somebody there to listen to them. It has a little bit of camaraderie in there. So I struggle with this one overall. It feels like a Eurocamp, and that's going to be a great thing for some people out there. Goods and bad for me. It has a little bit of camaraderie there. I don't know what the actual element of the main character and their desire for the manga is going to come into play, or if it ever is going to come to play. This might end up turning into one of those things where she ends up finding inspiration elsewhere, rather than be a mangaka. Maybe that'd be a really interesting twist to have the whole thing. Maybe just giving up on being a mangaka. Is she going to find inspiration, or is she going to find just something else that is more important for her? That's a question mark. But we'll see though. That's ZatsuTabi so far. Like I said, if you're a fan of those types of shows, definitely check it out. It's got that warmth. It's got that kind of journey, discovery kind of stuff in there. It has the themes in there that are the not so great parts. What's next? A ninja and an assassin under one roof. I was originally going to think this was going to be a maid dragon scenario, and I was severely wrong. This is not cute. Not cute. Killing all the cute waifus. Anyways, ninja and assassin under one roof, or ninja to koroshiya no futari garashi. This one is streaming on Crunchyroll, running for 12 episodes, done by Studio Shaft. Source is a manga. The genres are comedy. The series composition by the Monogatari series writer and March Coming Like Lion. Director worked on Madoka Magica and Quintessential Quintuplets. So Shaft people. But yeah, this one opens up with Satoko, and she is with the rest of her ninjas. Well, at least this one little group of ninjas in this one village of ninjas. And they're revolting. And she's like not even paying attention to what the hell they're doing. But they're revolting. They're gonna plan an escape, because yes, these ninjas are sick of being ninjas and having to kill people. So while she's kind of like nodding along with it, not really paying attention to what they're doing, she ends up getting swept up with them, and they escape the village. And then at that point, as they're being chased, they decide to split up. That's the point that Sotoko finally realized that she just literally escaped from the village, which apparently is not her first time. Apparently she got swept up into an escape before that she didn't realize that they were escaping. So yeah, she has to find, something to do in this outside world, outside the village. Very quickly, ninjas come to kill her. And while she's nearly killed, this one lady that's passing by that kicked her before, Konoha ends up killing the ninja for her that's trying to kill her for escaping from the ninja. And this kind of works out for Konoha because she's an assassin. So it kind of turns this whole thing where after Konoha, who is revealed to be an assassin, is killing to protect Sotoko, Sotoko is using her very special technique of ninjutsu to get rid of the evidence in the bodies. Because Konoha just so happens to be an assassin who is trying to get up the leaderboards of assassins, and the only thing that she sucks at, because she's really good at killing, the only thing that she sucks at is getting rid of the evidence. So every time that she does a kill, she pulls it off, but she always ends up making the customer mad because the hell, you left all this evidence, it ties back to somebody, the ratings are really, really low for her. So she's like, okay, well, I'll protect you and keep you from dying from the ninjas. In a sense, I'm killing ninjas that are coming to kill you, which typically the ninjas are in those same leaderboards. So that's like a win-win there as well. And you're going to get rid of the bodies for me. So we're all kind of working together, and we'll kind of split the money. So yeah, then they start living together, and Sotoko is having to learn about being pretty much just used for nothing but getting rid of evidence, even though she wants to be, family and have fun and hang out and experience all the niceties that Kuro, who is like the leader of the ninjas that ran away, she finding out. She got a sweet Yuri love at home.
Yeah, right.
But Sotoko can't get that love from Konoha. But yeah, the ninjas keep showing up, and Konoha keeps one-shotting them all. So what's your thoughts?
I actually kind of enjoyed this show at first. I really love the interaction between Satoko and Konoha. Their charisma or their chemistry together is pretty great. Going into kind of middle of the road when of these first few episodes, we started introducing Kuro, but she was kind of piecemealed in. She wasn't up at the front right away. We kind of really got this kind of the feeling of what was going to happen. Really all we see is some kind of an assassin come after Satoko, or they go out and they hunt these characters down. But for the most part, it's some assassin or something coming against Satoko. Randomly, Konoha pops up out of nowhere and death. That's it. Now, there's usually some
and
kind of...
she gets rid of him by turning him into leaves.
Yeah, and then Satoko changes him into leaves. Now, yeah, there might be some kind of random kind of hijinks involved in the first interactions between Satoko and one of these characters, but it's very quickly resolved, very fast. Konoha is, as Andrew said, an excellent assassin, really good. But there is no real kind of build up at all. Not that I necessarily have to have that, because this show is really more about the hijinks, usually involved in some way, shape, or form of these really flashy characters that are useless. The one character randomly popped up, said something about the fact that she builds up her power, and her power is really powerful against Konoha or something like that. Well, in this strange twist, Satoko, it comes to find out, is the reason for fixing this problem, because she has the ability to change things into leaves. Well, completely disables this character, but right after realizing that this character has been disabled, boom, that's it. It's over. So, yes, in some ways, I started out enjoying it, but after a little while, it seems to be kind of piddling off because the joke doesn't really seem to evolve in any way, shape, or form, which is something that we kind of have pointed out as a problem for some of these shows. Now, insert Kuro. Yes, I do kind of like the Kuro and her. I think actually her character, her lover's name is actually Yuri.
Yuri, yeah.
So I do kind of like their interactions and kind of how this is kind of branching out the story, and I am kind of looking forward to where it goes. But as it stands now, the kind of meat of the comedy in this show is kind of starting to get stale for me.
That was sort of what I kind of felt very quickly. Like I was actually going to jump off of you on the very beginning there of the idea of, starts out good, but then it's one of those shows where I think, yes, definitely didn't go the direction that I was kind of expecting it to go. And the idea that it just gets like super, super bloody very quickly, but it's always never taken itself seriously. And I got kind of frustrated early on because like all these really cute characters get introduced and then suddenly they just die. And I'm like, okay, if it's not Satoko and Konoha, I'm just not going to care about anybody popping up on the screen. They're going to die in like probably 2 minutes. So they'll have like these little introductions where suddenly it shows the two characters and they're watering a garden and they're like, hey, what happened to blah, blah? And we're like, oh yeah, they're dead. Oh, well, okay. Well, we got this mission. So we're going to go out this. I'm like, okay, you're dead. And so it's like it's just never. I don't care. Like stop introducing random like really well drawn. I like the designs of the characters and whatnot. They keep showing all these different assassins / ninjas. They look great, but I'm like, they're gonna die as soon as they show up to Konoha. She's gonna one shot them. And so there's like a little bit of frustration there. But they have sort of indicated that they technically, if they keep the leaves together, they can transport them back into being normal. But then they have to use another person to revive them. So I guess they're gonna come back eventually. I don't know. It seems like Satoko is currently trying to train herself to be able to turn stuff back. Seems to be something that Konoha can see as being useful in some way, and it seems like somebody's trying to keep them together. But then Konoha said that she was gonna burn them all, and they started handing them out to different people to burn all the leaves. So I don't think they're gonna bring it back anyways. So no. Yeah, like they randomly just show up to some place and say, "Here's some potatoes. Here's some leaves to burn too."
Yeah.
Okay. Guess not.
Cook to the potatoes with leaves.
But yeah, I'm kind of on the same board with you. I think all the encounters with the assassins and ninjas has gotten old. Yeah. That part for sure has gotten old. The part that kind of has, from the beginning, like I said, it was like a little bit of shock value and comedy to everything showing up and being taken out. Like it was funny up until the point I think where she went off to the bathroom alone and then Konoha came up behind them and because she knew that somebody was following them. That was like, okay, that's at that point on, I'm like, I just don't care about these. The joke is kind of dead at this point. What kind of replaced that is that this little kind of relationship between Satoko and Konoha, which has been kind of enhanced by Kuro. The idea that Satoko kind of just wants to fit in and connect with Konoha in some way, but Konoha just not having any of it. Like Konoha just doesn't care. Like she's actually really mean. Like, I can't sleep with snoring, so you're going to sleep in the kitchen. Like, she literally has Sadako, like, sleep on this hardwood floor where it's all cold because she can't stand it. Like, even when she goes to the door, she says, it's really cold in here. Or, no, it's because she was afraid because they just watched the horror movie. And she's like, can I stay in here with you just tonight? And she's like, walks over there, shuts the door in her face. Like, no, you're not sleeping in here. Like, she's super mean. Yeah, there's a whole bit where Satoko is trying to see what best way to really connect with Konoha, and through Kuro's kind of experience with Yuri, yes, it gets into like really trying to how to seduce Konoha. So it's this whole bit where Satoko is wearing like, yeah, the swimsuit with the apron, frying stuff on the stove, and like, yeah, Konoha's on response is, yeah, you're gonna burn yourself. You're literally gonna burn yourself. You burn yourself. Good job, you burn yourself. There's this weirdest thing where like they've done a couple times at this point where Konoha keeps smiling and does not like people knowing that she's smiling, which is weird. But that part has been kind of funny, just seeing how Satoko is really trying desperately to. It's not that she likes. This is the weird part. It's not like Satoko. It doesn't feel like Satoko loves Konoha or anything. It just feels like she wants to be a part of Konoha. I haven't really gotten a sense of what the hell Satoko really wants. Other than that, it's a place to be, and she just wants to be with Konoha.
I don't know. Maybe she just thinks that she's the quote unquote wife type thing. So, and it's so funny because she was getting
She wants
advice.
to be more.
She's getting advice from Kuro, which is kind of effectively the male in the masculine in their relationship. So it's kind of this weird.
Kuro is the stay-home mom. Definitely. Well, he does have like the more masculine look to him. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
And
And Kuro is the way of the house husband, wife. Wait, husband and wife. Yeah, I'm kind of on the same board with you though. I'm getting sick of the ninja assassin stuff. It seems like it's trying to kind of mix it up with the idea of her mastering the art of like returning from leaves, which could be interesting going forward. I don't know.
I wouldn't put too much into
is
that.
fun. Konoha's kind of fun and a little bit quirky to her. I just kind of get a kick out of how like nonchalant she is about literally everything. Like I just don't really care. I'm doing this whole leaderboard. Like literally, she comes home and just lay down on the bed and just all day just on the phone, just looking up crap and looking up the leaderboard, checking where she's at. And Satoko again is like this, just the poor housewife that just wants attention. Like just pay attention to me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the biggest sense why she is. But I don't know, it's cute. Like it's got that cuteness to it for sure. I think the designs are fantastic. I don't know how much longer it's gonna keep my attention is really the big key thing. Unfortunately. We'll see though. We'll see. Man, been Debbie Downer this episode. Is there anything that we can talk about that's good? I feel like I've been too negative this episode. I need something positive to talk about. Just the thing. Food for the soul. Oh, you're not watching all. A food for the soul. Hibi wa sugi redo meshi umashi. This one is streaming on Crunchyroll and for 12 episodes, done by Studio PA Works. An original. Genres are slice of life. The director worked on Nanan Biori and Sagarada Reset. The series competition writer worked on Akiba Made War, and the original creator for this series is Atto of Nanan Biori. So the creator of Nanan Biori. But yeah, this one opens up with a girl named Mako. She is going to university, and she is kind of the type that doesn't really kind of socialize well with people, has a lot of social anxieties and whatnot, is really trying to kind of branch out there and whatnot. But unfortunately, even going to this new school, things aren't really changing for her. At some point, she ends up bumping into an old friend from like her previous school, which is Shinon. Well, Shinon spots her because Shinon and her two other friends have been for a long time trying to make their own club. They're trying to make this food research club, and they could not seem to get it passed because they need to have 4 people. But then she spots Mako and is like, holy crap, this person from my last school. She rushes up there. She's like, hey, you remember me? Yeah, she points out like her old nickname, which is like super embarrassing for her. But yeah, they start talking for a little bit, and then Shinon's like, oh yeah, that's right. We're currently trying to get our 4th member. Do you want to join us? It'll be just like old times or whatever. But Mako, being a little bit still, again, stuck in her old ways, kind of rejects her and goes home. Gets really upset because she's like, dude, I just met my old friend, but I rejected her. She probably hates my guts, like sitting there overthinking it. Well, then she ends up going over to a nearby restaurant where she ends up running into one of Shinon's friends that was in that group, Kurie. And Kurie is currently helping her parents with their restaurant. And so she comes in there, sits down, has a meal, and then, oh yeah, by the way, I was really trying to get a hold of Shinon. Oh yeah, I can get her in contact with her. She's like, yeah, I want to join your club. And so at that point, they end up being able to actually make the club. They end up getting their room, which is in like this way out in the middle of nowhere building. It's a massive building. It's just like, I guess they didn't have enough clubs, so nobody's been really using the building anymore. So now they can finally utilize one of the rooms. But yeah, they get there, and Mako's really excited because she likes the idea of food. She's always enjoyed food. And so now she gets to hang out with an old friend. She's now socializing, and now she can enjoy really yummy foods while she's in this food research club. Well, Mako asks, like, okay, so what's the first thing we're going to do? And then Shinon's like, well, now that we got this whole thing, nothing. Apparently the whole idea of the club is just to be lazy. Like Shinon wanted to make a club so the three of them they could just be lazy, like just do nothing. The whole idea of like originally when they were gonna make the club, they weren't even gonna name it, but then they were forced to have like a name and a selection, and so they had to fill out the form, and they chose for them the Food Research Club, and so I think even Sushi she filled the rest of the information or whatever. But yeah, there's like a quick realization that after they get there, after they clean out the club, this like admin comes over there and literally lays down, okay, so what did you guys do so far? Like, oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna keep tabs on you. Like, we're gonna make sure that you didn't just make this club to hang out and be lazy. So you have to actually fulfill all of the goals that you have in your actual paper, which is basically that they have to, do research on food and they have to do some cooking or whatever. So it kind of turns into it goes against what Shinon wanted. Shinon just wanted to be lazy. It goes to the favor of Mako because she wanted to actually do this. So it's like actually turns out to be good. And then you have again Kurie, she's actually knowledgeable in cooking stuff. And then Tsuchishi, she's just a little fluff lolly ball thing that's super adorable. But yeah, that's the gist of it so far. Like from that point on, they just been kind of hanging out. At some point, we meet another member who I think she was on the books to join, but didn't quite get in yet. She was wanting to make what the heck was it called? A tricks club or something like that. Like she likes messing with different traps and puzzles. So it's like a puzzle club. And she was going to make a puzzle club instead of join them. And so apparently since that didn't work out, she wanted to come over and join them. And she has like insane anxieties with people that she's never met before. But the moment that she knows them, like first with Mako, she is terrified of talking to Mako. And then after a while, once she's met them for a while, like the next day she shows up and she's super Genki happy, like, oh, hey Mako, how's it going? Like, let's hang out, whatever. And then suddenly like somebody walks by that she doesn't know, and then suddenly she suddenly starts freezing up again and just like cowers to the corner and stuff. It's kind of dorky. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just cooking stuff, making stuff, and hanging out. That's the idea so far. I actually really do like this show so far, which I'm very relieved about. Because yes, this was like a late announced show for the spring season, and I immediately seen PA Works. I'm like, okay, and then I seen Nana and Biori, and I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I'm just looking forward to the idea of watching a PA Works show written by the Nana and Biori creator. I'm like, yeah, give it to me. I absolutely love the writing from that creator. But my biggest fear though is, of course, when we were watching the PVs and the title itself, that was this massive like, but Andrew, it's a foodie show. It's not a foodie show. Like so far, it is not really a foodie show. Like there's a lot of storytelling and emphasis around the food itself. Like the food is sort of the draw and will at times be sort of a lure for the character to kind of put themselves out there. Like again, initially, she felt like she would probably never get a chance to talk to this friend of hers that she hasn't seen in a long time again. But suddenly that smell, that aroma of that restaurant pulls her over, and it just so happens, her old friend's friend is literally working at that shop, and it gives her that opening to, get in there. And again, technically this them having Mako just wanting to actually do this stuff and sort of pulling them into that desire and them all enjoying food together. It's like, it's not like a foodie show where like literally every 10 minutes they have to sit there and be like showing food on the screen and the characters are going, why? It's kind of one of those aspects of kind of a build up into one segment of a food eating moment. So I was a little bit happy about that. It doesn't become the driving force. It just becomes like a tool within it. So that's been actually a positive for me, because I don't really care much for constant food stuff. But the actual chemistry itself has been fantastic. I think, again, Mako, very much so somebody that's trying to put herself out there. She's thankfully able to finally get past that initial, speed bump, but then now started making those connections with her old friend and others. Shinon's she's extremely reliable and resourceful, but useless herself. Like, this is the girl that always shows up late, but she had the right, she knows who to call when they need something. Like, she knows who to talk to. She's very sociable, whatever. She can make connections. She knows how to pull some strings. Kurie is like I would probably say she's like the big sis type. I think she's absolutely great. Again, she's the one that is working at her family's restaurant. She seems like the more big sis type, more reliable type, more down to earth type of character. Tsutsuji is the fluff lollyball that I absolutely adore. I could have swore I knew her Seiyu, and I've never heard. I thought that I've heard her Seiyu before, and I was trying to place it for the longest time, and I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, this girl's kind of new. Like, I don't know any of this stuff, so I'm like, okay, whoever this person is, please give her more roles, because I think she's absolutely fantastic. But yeah, she's great. She's a little fluff ball. She's not like what you would kind of expect her to be. She's a goofy type of character where like she's very much so like all about kind of like comfort and like warmth. You know, like she just wants to be in a corner with her she like literally walks in with this massive like alpaca. I think it's an alpaca plush chair thing that they have to like scrunch the door, and then she just sits in the corner and she just sits on the thing, just like relaxes on the thing. But she's kind of like reliable in a sense where she's able to kind of put herself out there in order to bring somebody in. Like the next day after joining, Tsutsuji is the first person to confront Mako and say, come on, let's go to the club. I mean, you're going to join, right? And it's just very kind of welcoming. Then like later on when you have Nana is first meeting Mako, and there's that tension between the two of them because Nana is afraid of her. So she just stands up and starts doing a goofy dance just to kind of break the ice between them, and kind of just puts herself out there. Like she's willing to kind of put herself out there as like a dork just to kind of make things kind of mellow out. I love her. She's fantastic. But yeah, so far Nana's been great. Again, very socially awkward, very timid type of character, even though she looks like she's a gyaru preppy type. So it's a good cast character. I like the chemistry so far. The comedy's on point. A lot of funny moments so far, like them cleaning up and throwing a cap into Kurie's hair, and they're trying to get it out of her hair without her noticing. That whole bit was just hilarious. The lady showing up to kind of keep them on track, I think she's pretty cool as well. Kind of get a sense that she was wanting Shinon to, you know, kind of make a club that was purposeful, you know, just to get on track kind of thing. The whole bit where they were trying to get them to let them create the club initially was hilarious too, because they're like, they're like, no, we have 3, but you know, yeah, you have to have 4. Come on, just let us open it with 3. And then like we knew you were gonna be a little bit kind of pushy, so they slide this little envelope forward. She's like grabs the envelope. She's like, what is this? It's a bribe. But we weren't sure if you were going to be okay with taking a bribe, so we just put golden money in, or golden paper in there. So it's like, here, take a bribe. Oh, but we're kind of afraid that you're not going to take a bribe, so just in case, it's not real money. It's just like a slap in the face. It's just a dorky little kind of exchange they had at the door trying to get in there. It's good stuff. I'm enjoying it a lot. So I suggest it, especially if you're a Nanan Biori fan. It's not. I feel vibes of Nanan Biori for sure, but it's not like you know, out in the sticks type of stuff like Nanan Biori. It's very much somewhere in the city, but it's still got that vibe of the characters. They still have that goofiness.
Is it Iyashikei-ish like that, or is it more just comedy?
No comedy. Like it doesn't have like those long chill moments that Nanan Biori had.
Gotcha.
Tsutsuji is probably the Renge character. I can see her being the Renge character.
Yeah, I was thinking that the way you were describing it. So,
Nanpasu Mono. We have like three chill shows, and almost in a row without the ninja in the way. You didn't watch Mono, did you?
Mm-mm.
Mono is from the creator of Yuru Camp. So while he had ZatsuTabi earlier, now we got the actual OG laid-back camp creator right here. Mono streaming on Crunchyroll running for 12 episodes, done by Soingne. I don't know. Sources of manga, comedy, slice of life for the genres. And again, the creator of this series of the original source material is Afro, who did Layback Camp. But yeah, Mono is about a girl named Satsuki, and she's going to this one school, and at some point she ends up, she spots this girl that was taking photos, and she becomes interested in the girl that was taking the photos, ends up joining the club that the girl was in, which is a photo-taking club, and spends like an entire year with her kohai, or her senpai, taking pictures of stuff. Well, it turns out, like, at the end of it all, like, her senpai takes so many photos, so many beautiful photos, and Sasuke literally just was just taking pictures of her senpai the entire time. Like, you have her senpai's there with like this really nice camera, and she's taking pictures of all this stuff, and then you have Satsuki's over here on the side with her phone camera, just taking pictures of her senpai, which I think, if I remember correctly, she won an award with it, so it was still cool. But yeah, after the years passed, she's kind of saying goodbye to her and just kind of encouraging her, keep at it. Just, try to take pictures of things, more things than just me. But yeah, now that she's left, I don't remember exactly what kind of unfolded, but it ends up kind of turning this whole thing where they end up, they need another member to kind of keep the club open. So they end up, inviting in somebody from another club that was kind of failing because they didn't have any other members, and they kind of make it into this kind of Phonosino, I forget what they call it, Phonosino club or something like that. But yeah, that's sort of the opening of it, and eventually they end up, they have an order online to get a camera because they need another camera for the club, and when they go to the seller who failed to send the actual product, they go to the address of the person, and I kind of find out it's this similar to ZatsuTabi, a mangaka who's kind of in a rut at the moment. And so they get the camera, everything's all fine there, but then they kind of hear the fact that she's trying to get inspiration. So it kind of turns this whole thing where this mangaka is having these students kind of go out and, take pictures and film stuff, and then, coming back with that information to her to give her inspiration to write. And then it kind of quickly turns into her literally driving them everywhere. Well, at first, the first trip was pretty rough because it seemed like she wasn't used to riding for a long time or driving for a long time. So it was a very rough drive. The second time, thankfully, she spent a little time, I guess, training again in how to drive. So it was a lot smoother of a ride. But it's been kind of fine so far. I have kind of a missing character here that I'm kind of trying to look for, and I don't think I even have them on the list. Mono? No. Google, I know I'm not looking for Mono. Looking for Mono. Camera. But yeah, so far it's been pretty solid. I'm again, similarly to ZatsuTabi, I have some fears in here, but it's doing well enough for me, because this is the show, honestly, that out of all the kind of feeling like they're going to be traveling around type of shows, the one that I thought was going to be the quickest one for me to want to drop, mainly on the idea that as much as I love, that's her. Okay. I was looking for a character and I was not recognizing her from the photo. Like, this character does not look like her. Anyways, I was assuming that this was going to be a show that I was going to probably enjoy like the first couple episodes, but then I was probably going to drop off of it just because I can't do the whole advertisement things again. But thankfully, this has been kind of holding well together. The initial episode was really solid. I liked the introduction. You basically have Satsuki and An, who are now taking over this club, and they need to get a third member. Then they end up stumbling upon Sakurako, sorry. And Sakurako joins their club and very quickly starts to help them out with different ideas and whatnot. Like, initially they're thinking about, okay, let's try to do, since we don't have the money to buy a drone to take footage of aerial footage, they were trying out the idea of just making a kite. And then you have An just like running around with this freaking kite trying to get to fly up in the air, and so Sakurako has to do it properly for her. And it just turns this whole thing of them, running around with the kite and everything, getting a bunch of really good cool footage with a camera on a kite, and ultimately, again, eventually running into this mangaka later on. It was a really solid intro, and I love the characters. Like, I just really like the chemistry between them. Mainly the idea of, like, on Kiriyama, seemingly super thirsty for Sakura Satsuki. She really likes her, but she's a goofball. I really like Kiriyama's character. Like her kind of, it seems like she's super into her at first, but she's just kind of a goofball. Like she's I want to say she's a tryhard, but she's not like not like a bad tryhard. She's always putting way too much effort in it, and it doesn't seem to ever it never works out. Like this is a girl that just puts all this effort into it, and none of it ever works out. Like when they get the camera that they were going to buy from this mangaka, when they get the camera, like they get this brilliant idea of attaching the camera, this 360 camera, on the back of this cat. And they're like, oh, by the way, the cat doesn't show up for like 2 days. Like once it goes out, it doesn't come back for 2 days. And then, yeah, sure enough, when the cat finally does come back, the camera's just, it's dirty and busted and everything. So it's like everything this girl wants to do and go out of her way for just never works out. But yeah, it's been good like that. And again, like I said, just kind of them going out and doing different things. I haven't gotten that fatigue of the going to location stuff yet. It's been pretty solid so far. I like the locations they're going to. It has plenty of kind of comedy to kind of mix in there as well, like them traveling around with the mangaka, Haruno, and her just being kind of a. She's not like a fail adult. Like she's not like a total fail adult. Like she is somewhat decently reliable, but there is a sense there where she's like the mangaka that doesn't know how to properly engage a pedal or a steering wheel kind of fail.
So was Kiriyama the one taking pictures of the senpai, or was Satsuki?
Satsuki.
Gotcha.
And Maki Nohara is the senpai. So she thirst her, but she graduate, but she thirst her now. Gotcha. And these two might actually be a thing. Well, I don't know. They kind of seem like they're a thing. And she's just adorable. Sakurako's adorable. I love her design. But yeah, I'm liking it. I'm definitely gonna keep watching it. I've never had a problem with, like I said before, never had a problem with Laid Back Camp. I've already addressed my issues. The idea that I don't like when it gets too advertising. So hopefully it doesn't do that, and I'll keep enjoying it because I think this is similar to a lot of the other Laid Back Camp where if they have the characters going together well enough, they're really good at chemistry. Like the writer's always been good at chemistry. I think the only times where Laid Back Camp didn't work for me was when it was doing a lot of the exploring locations and the characters were separated. In a lot of cases, I did like the almost feeling of like freedom that came with a lot of the characters being alone, exploring places in Laid Back Camp. But there is almost a feeling of like emptiness as well, where after a while it's like I'm kind of bored. Like I get that feeling of like getting away by yourself, going somewhere, having nothing to kind of tie you down, nobody to nag you. But then there's a sense of like I kind of want to listen to some characters bicker about something. Yeah, expected it. There's cameos. So if you're a big fan of Laid Back Camp, there is cameos. They do. The certain characters do pop up on a regular basis on the roads and in the backgrounds on a regular basis. It's kind of cute whenever you spot the characters. I don't know if it was just that one episode, if they did it multiple episodes. I don't remember if I noticed them in the first episode. I would imagine not because they weren't out and about much. But definitely like the recent episodes, like shoot, they were just popping up left and right. Different Laid Back Camp characters. Anyways, that's Mono. Let's move on to Yandere Dark Elf. The High Beams, the anime. Bright High Beams, the anime. Which had a Gushing Over Magical Girl reference in the last episode, I see. Randomly picked up a phone and there was a live stream of Tres Magia on the phone. I was like, okay, I'm guessing same publisher or something, or I guess of Gushing Over Magical Girls. I don't know. Anyways, Yandere Dark Elf, she chased me all the way from another world Chotodake ai ga omoi Dark Elf ga isekai kara oikaka takata katakata whatever. String on High Dive. 12-minute episode shorts done by Elias, who of course is known for doing Plus Size Elf. Source is a manga. These genres are comedy, ecchi, fantasy, romance. The director worked on Plus Size Elf. Series composition writer worked on Plus Size Elf. And the original creator of the manga for Yandere Dark Elf is the creator of Slave Princess Olivia. Which is, yeah, that's an H. So, this show opens up with Hinata, who was transported to another world, had a party of adventurers. They went and they defeated the Demon King, and then after he was defeated, he started disappearing. He's like, I guess I'm going back to my old world. He gets transported back to his original world where he starts to go to school again, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, Belle, who was one of the members of his party in the previous world, who said that she was going to come after him, ended up coming after him. Figured out how to transport herself to his world where he went to, and chased after him. And so now they could be together forever. And then he's like, but boobies. And then they start doing the whole like thirsty back and forth. She keeps kind of wanting to get him, doesn't want anybody around him. She even like nearly blows away his classmate who gets too close to him at some point. And then two of the other party members follow them over too. So thoughts?
I wish they would just go all the way. Just get it over with. Just get done. No, I like this show. It's goofy. I kind of I do kind of hate the censorship. I will admit that. But at the same time, I just kind of
it's so funny. The censorship is the least of its worries.
Yeah, it doesn't.
The show.
Okay. Yes, it looks like garbage. I got you, Andrew.
Wait. Specifically, and you'll if this scarred you as bad as it did me, you'll remember exactly the scene. It was, I forget what they were doing, but she was in I think she was in her PE outfit. They were at school, and I think he got hurt or something like that, and he was on top of her, and then the classmate Sakura, she walks in. That like Belle's body and proportions, she's just it looks so bad. It looks so. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to deny it does look bad quite a bit. The goofiness of this show, when I want an ecchi show, I don't want a show that's. I do want it to tell a story. It's one of those that it's like, just be goofy, just have fun. Don't try to make things too overly complicated. That's one of the things that I did kind of like about Plus Size Elf. I think that this does it decently well. I mean, okay, you're throwing May and Cecil in there. Don't tell me some kind of stupid story about how the people in the other world are all up in arms about I don't care. Just do something goofy with the two new characters. That's the reason I'm here. I'm here for you to be ecchi. Just do it. But no, I'm having fun with the show. It's fine.
Yeah, I forget what was going on with Cecil and May. Like they were saying they were going to drag her back there.
Yeah, and then they moved in next door. So hopefully we'll be getting some ecchi of them.
But they say why they wanted to bring her back? Or they were just wanting an excuse to bring her back?
Something having to do with the apparently. Government saying that she wasn't supposed to go or something like that. I don't know. Like I said, I barely paid attention. It was like a big old wall of text, and I was like, I don't care. Where's the ecchi?
There's the boobies. Stop talking. Shut your mouth, lady, and show your boobs.
Yeah. I mean, I was all in on it when they were doing the library scene. I didn't really care about the books, but I did care about the falling on top of him, and we got panty shot. See, I'm here for a very, very specific thing.
And see, and that's the sad thing is like I just don't. It doesn't look good. So it's like even if it's like with that whole scene with her. What was funny about that scene is before he went to leave, he's like, I gotta go to school, and she's like, what's the school? And he's like, it's something I gotta go to. Just stay here. I'll be back. And so she like hugs him. Turns out she puts this talisman on him so she can listen to him. And so while he's in the library with this childhood friend, I'm guessing classmate girl that's like super thirsty for him, for God who knows what reason, because the guy's so freaking blank.
he's not gonna be forward with you, baby girl. It's all over. You want him to be really pushy, but he's not gonna do it.
The entire time they're in the library, I'm just constantly going, oh God, this show is just going downhill so fast visually. This doesn't look good. This girl just doesn't look like she wants to keep on model. I'm guessing that's how they want her to look. And then suddenly it's like, Russell, something happened. I don't know, she fell or something. And then now her butt's in his face. And I'm just, all I can think of is, that doesn't even look good. It's like, I'm getting treated to a butt shot, but it just doesn't look good. Like the proportions of the characters just look so freaking off. Like out of nowhere, this girl got some, I guess, thickness to her that just doesn't look right. And then, I guess it's funny the fact that Belle suddenly right then has to, connect in on the talisman spied stalker mode talisman thingamajiggy. Then it turns this whole thing where she starts to go to school as well, and then wants to kill Sakura, and then Sakura likes her now because she's using magic, and he's like, even though she tried to kill her, it's just no. I don't even know. I don't even know how I got to like 4 or 5 episodes, probably because it's only 10 minutes or so episode long. This show looks like butt, and that's not a good butt. It looks garbage. It looks absolute garbage, and I expect that again. Plus size elf got to looking bad really quickly too. Didn't even take an episode. Like within the first episode, it was looking bad. And the fact that High Dive massive fail with the high beam version. Like even the dude's nips got freaking lights.
Yeah.
Like are we really? That's your breaking point, Elias, or whatever production team's working on this. Your breaking point is nips on a dude. I don't know. They could find out that it's actually no, because I think she grabbed something, didn't she?
Yeah.
Did she confirm a lever? I think she confirmed a lever.
Somebody confirmed a lever.
I'm kind of blending with Makina here a bit, but yeah, it looks like garbage. Even the comedy and the chemistry and the writing's just not there. Like I just don't feel it. Like there's this constant thing where I guess if you like the Yandere archetypes, that's Belle. But it's like most of the dialogue is literally her talking about how she wants him all to herself and she's going to keep him all to himself. And it's just not there. Like there's no purpose to it.
Oh,
like the comments, the dialogue is just not there. There's no comedy. There's no chemistry. There's nothing. Like literally the dialogue is so lifeless. It's not even funny. So I can't even give it. The writing's not there. The visuals aren't there. I got nothing. So big, massive drop on this one.
Yeah, I figured out what you meant by the lever. No, that was the other show. You're right.
The prostate.
Yeah, I busted up laughing on that one.
Gotta put it back in. Your testicles are falling out. Oh, is that your prostate? No, it's not supposed to be outside. Anyways. Was I literally at the next one? Are you good on that one? Anything?
No, I'm good.
Were you planning on watching Summer Pockets?
I do plan on it. I just haven't gotten to it.
It was a
really, really rough week. So
will you be able to do it within a week?
I hope so. Yes.
Well, let me put something else here. I kind of want to do that, but I'd rather you be able to talk about it too. What do you think, Chris? YAIBA, Rock as a Lady's Modesty from Old Country Bumpkin.
You kind of turned me off on the Rock a Lady.
Well, you have Two Perfect Saint, Uchujin Mujmu, and Summer Pockets to watch before next week. Which one will you not watch?
Okay. I was just saying Rock a Lady. Oh, you already did Rock a Lady.
I want to talk about one more positive show this week because I've been too negative this week. And so those are my 3 positive shows. And so I'm giving you a choice which one you won't be able to watch. Summer Pockets, Ushijin Mumu, or Two Perfect Saint.
Do the Mumu or Saint.
Mumu or Saint?
Do Uchu Mumu or do the Saint.
Well, you said you watched the first episode of Saint, right?
Yeah, but I didn't watch the entire episode. I watched like 5 minutes of it.
Okay, YAIBA. I'm going to do YAIBA. You better watch all 3 of them. I'm going to talk about YAIBA. YAIBA is a good one, too. YAIBA will be a positive one. YAIBA Samurai Legend, or Shin Samurai Den YAIBA. This one's streamed on Netflix. Done by Studio Wit Studio, based on a manga. Adventure fantasy comedy. Hasui Takahiro, who worked on Mob Psycho, is working as the director. And we have series composition by Machida Toko. And, of course, the original creator, of course, created YAIBA and Detective Conan. So, yeah, this one opens up with, YAIBA. YAIBA is hanging out in a forest with his father, doing, like, some crazy, rigorous training. Kind of give the sense that he's learning how to, like, master his senses. So whenever something attacks him from behind, he's able to quickly react to it. But the 2 of them end up finally, boarding up onto a plane, coming back to Japan, where they end up running into Sayaka Mina and Raizo Mine, which apparently Raizo and YAIBA's father know each other. And so they end up, basically hanging out with them, staying at their shrine, where it seems like YAIBA's father wanted to kind of just hoist YAIBA off to their family to see if their grandmother would, like, train him or something like that. But this time it turns into something where, like, he's training there while also, following Sayaka to school, where eventually YAIBA runs into a boy named Takashi Onimaru. And Onimaru is, like, he's pretty much set to, at some point, probably become an Olympian. Like, he is incredibly good at with the sword. And very quickly, knowing this, YAIBA really badly wants to challenge him, but the guy's like, don't waste my time. And eventually, YAIBA just attacks him, and this guy wrecks YAIBA. Like, he's the first person that just completely puts YAIBA in his place. But yeah, YAIBA wants a rematch, keeps pestering him over and over again, setting traps for him, ends up eventually insulting Takashi so much, and eventually, as they fight on, like, all over the place, like, they have this long fight going on, like, vehicles and whatnot as they're going down the street and everything, until eventually YAIBA finally, wins against Takashi. And this really upsets Takashi. Well, cut forward, at some point, Takashi, in a pit of rage, ends up opening up this little destroys this little, like, thing, and opens up this passage to apparently, like, this secret underground location at the shrine, where he ends up discovering the sword. At the very beginning of the series, we do find out about these swords. They're like these swords that if the person that wields it doesn't learn to control it, it will possess them, and it turns them into an Oni. But Takashi finds one of these swords, and yeah, very quickly it ends up pretty much taking control of him. It feeds into the desires of the person they have, and currently Takashi has the desire to, again, get revenge and defeat YAIBA, and so all he wants to do is to find and defeat YAIBA. So yeah, he confronts him at the school, destroys like half the school and YAIBA at the same time. YAIBA ends up having to get rescued by his little ostrich bird crane thingamajig crow. I don't know what the hell kind of monster animal it is. Gets saved by that. And at that point, they end up shipping YAIBA off to try to find the other sword, because the only way to defeat this sword is to defeat its other. So they have to go to see if they can find it. They end up finding it. It's like in some kind of like Excalibur situation where it's like sitting on some rock and they're going, no, nobody can pull it. I haven't been able to pull it. And sure enough, YAIBA pulls it. And sure enough, YAIBA goes over there, like still standing on top of his tiger that he has. He just grabs the thing and just yanks it out. Yeah, no problem. But yeah, very quickly, YAIBA gets end up getting taken over by it as well. But thankfully, the hermit that's there with them at the time is able to stop him, knock him out, get out of his hands. But yeah, it kind of just turns into that point on Takashi still being possessed is sending minions to YAIBA to recover the sword that he is trying to get so that he doesn't have that power to overcome him. All the while, YAIBA is trying to learn how to control the power of the sword and not get overtaken by it. And yada 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 yada. Yeah, I don't even remember watching the original series of this show. Like, just watching this show, there's parts of it that I recognize, but a lot of it I don't. So I'm not really sure how or if as much that I've watched, how much of, or if I even watched the original series. But either way, I am liking this so far. This has been similar to the Ranma remake. It's kind of that whole aspect of really doing a good job of nailing the aesthetic of the old series, while at the same time giving it a newer, fresher polish to it. And yeah, based on a lot of the side-by-side clips that I've seen of the old adaptation to this new adaptation, going above and beyond for it. Like, there's a lot of the fight scenes themselves that are much more polished out and fleshed out with this new Geo remake of it. That's really doing a number for it. I've noticed a few things of the fight sequences themselves, like especially the sound design, again the animation itself, the voice acting work and everything they're doing for it. It's been great. Like, presentation wise, visually, audio, music, characters, that stuff, phenomenal. Really loving it. As for like the story itself, yeah, like I don't really recall much of the story. It does seem like at its core value, it is the two sides of an opposite force that always seek each other. From the very beginning, it's YAIBA versus Takashi. The rivals meet each other, and the rivals will force each other to get stronger and stronger. The desire to overcome the other person, they will constantly want to overcome the other person, thus they will keep pushing each other further and further higher leagues. It's the Goku and Vegeta thing. It's that whole aspect there. While at the same time having seemingly a lot focused around the two swords they have. I think there's 4 total question mark. But with these swords themselves, and they're wanting to possess them, pushing them to do, horrible things that necessarily are just kind of feeding into their desires, is not necessarily something they wanted to do. I don't know if that will drive into something better, but within that, I do like the chemistry so far. I think YAIBA and Sayaka are just... I like their chemistry together a lot, because it's the oblivious boy, the oblivious wild animal boy that's always been in a forest, that has never met a girl before, and suddenly just doesn't know what to do around a girl. And at the same time, she kind of likes a lot of his... how he helps her out, rescues her, helps her out with things. That side is sort of kind of playing onto her. She likes that goofy nature that he'll do. So their chemistry's been pretty solid so far. Outside of that, it's just kind of some goofy moments here and there with the other characters, like the tiger that he apparently met at some point because he was fishing and the thing was going to attack him, but then he accidentally gut punches the tiger with his pole before he thinks the tiger's trying to help him fish by frantically trying to get out of the water and knocking up fish. There's some pretty funny little bits in there, but like overall, I've just been enjoying just the action, the old shonen fun action type of manga that it is, based off of. So it's been a fun little one. Again, similar to Ranma, just kind of nice little blast from the past that it's being really well adapted. That's YAIBA. Saiba. Makina-san is a love roboto. Makina-san. Exclusive on Ocean Vale. My little drop. I need to make a little drop. Exclusively on Ocean Vale. Kaku shite Makina-san. That was the one that you were talking about the other week, by the way, Chris. I was doing the jingle for the Makina-san, and Chris is like, "Are you doing the Hana Yamata?" No, I'm doing Makina-san. Because the stupid PV. Makina-san. Anyways. Streaming on Ocean Vale, 12-minute long episodes, being done by Bloomzy and Wolfsbane. The source is a manga. The genres are comedy, ecchi, mecha, romance, sci-fi. Director worked on Grandpa Young Again and I Shield 21. It's an interesting spread of shows there. Series composition by the person that worked on Isekai Onsen and One Hit Kill Sister. And the original creator is the creator behind Crossing Time. So that was actually a really good series, by the way. If you're looking for a really like nice little short series, Crossing Time. I think it's on Crunchyroll. Anyways, let's not talk about wholesome. Let's talk about wholesome. This one, Makina-san is a love robot. Opens up with a boy named Etta, and this is kind of like a decently, like not very future setting, Japan, where AI technology is just kind of taken off. You have like AI robots that people are building and whatnot. And we follow Etta, who is at this one school. He's the head of like the robot and mechanics type of club. At some point, they have this call out by this AI designer or something like that that's looking for a research partner or something like that he's kind of interested in. At some point, as he's walking home, he ends up seeing a bunch of emergency vehicles going by. His landlady's outside their apartments, and she's talking about how like something happened nearby. You know, be safe. Your parents told me to keep an eye on you, kiddo. Anyways, he goes. I love her. He goes up to his room and he spots somebody outside his door in a hoodie, and it turns out to be Makina-san, his classmate, who's like super hot and popular. And yeah, she hands over this tablet that has all this computing and robotics information on it before she reveals that, oh yeah, by the way, I'm a robot and I'm kind of in trouble. I need you to help me. And then passes out. He drags her robotic body back inside of his room where he looks over the schematics and puts his robot otaku self to work and starts to rebuild her. It seems like the skin itself like rebuilds itself once everything else is kind of, all the components are together, but he puts all the components together. And yeah, next day she wakes up and she's all better now. And she's like, dang, I picked the right target. And that's the point that she reveals to him that she is a love bot and that she's a type of robot that is created for the sole sake of seducing men and, you know, controlling them. And her first mission is Etta. She has chosen Etta because she can't have him reveal the fact that she's a love bot, so she needs to sleep with him. Now, there's only one problem. One, Etta is a good virgin boy, so he will not ever touch Makina. And he's never going to... And it even goes so far as that he does not want to take advantage of a love bot because that's disrespectful to women. Which is disrespectful to her because she's literally like, that's literally what I am. It's like you're saying that I'm disgusting. But there's one other big problem. Makina doesn't know how it works.
Nope.
Makina literally, like, Makina, for some reason, like, the database in her brain that talks about how to function being a love bot is blocked. And whenever she looks at information or books about it, she gets a block on her vision. The only way that she's been able to find that she's able to learn about lovemaking is by talking to people about it. Specifically, your classmate of theirs, Mamimi, who is like a BL mangaka who doesn't know how it works. So she doesn't know how to to do it with Etta, but she wants to do that because she wants to manipulate Etta. And again, Etta doesn't want to do it. She believes that she's got to find the prostate. And then when she grabs the prostate, it puts it in the other spot. That's what she thinks. That's how it works. Because apparently, Mamimi believes that prostates is how BL happen. So anyways, yeah, it's constantly Makina trying to get with him. At some point, she needs a uniform, so they decide to borrow one from Mamimi, and they go out on a dato, which flusters Makina, and then her leg falls off, so he has to yank her into the boys' bathroom where he has to insert it in the right hole to connect the leg again. And Mamimi overhears it, panics for a little bit, but then, you know, Etta hides. And I forget the last episodes. What's your thoughts?
This has been great. I mean, this is exactly what I was talking about with Yandere Dark Elf. This is goofy start. I mean, just goofy premise, and then just have ecchi hijinks. Just use what you have available. Don't make it into some kind of stupid complex thing. Just have fun. And I think this does it in spades. Yes, I would love a little bit more ecchi, but I'll work with what I got. Andrew had brought up Oya-san. I absolutely love her. She was absolutely perfect. One of her best scenes was easily, he was doing something. She came and knocked, and Makina had kind of worked him up a little bit.
He had a morning.
Yes,
he had morning.
He had a
quack.
Oh, it was a morning one.
Yeah, he was having a special dream, and he woke up to her.
And he opened up the door, and she mentioned how healthy he was, and how even making a reference to she's going to eat him up. And it was just so well done. I love it. So far, I'm absolutely loving the show. I can't wait for more. And yep, totally high suggestion for anybody who likes ecchi.
There's literally like only 2 scenes of Oya-san. He's like my favorite scene. So one of them.
Of hers. I'm sorry.
There's like
I guess
there's like 2 scenes of Oya-san. I thought she would be around a lot more than that, but it's been literally like just the initial. I was supposed to take care of you. I didn't remember her saying anything about eating him up. It was more of an aspect of like, keep it down. Kind of you're a young boy. I know. Just keep it down. And that's when he tells Makina to keep it down, and Makina is like, I will make sure to turn down my moaning volume or something like that. He's like, why would you have that? It's just like, I was like, why is it you have a moaning volume for your settings? Anyways, yeah, I've actually been liking this one. Like I kept telling a lot of people, I did my top 10 video, and I also mentioned it in my first impressions of Makina video, is like you have like the trio of degeneracy of the season, which is, Takamine-san, it's Dark Elf, Yandere, and then Makina-san. This one just beats the other ones, like full through. Like, yes, this show isn't like 100% all the time. Like, it is not like a stellar looking show, but it at least when it counts, it does it. Like, it visually keeps it together when it counts. Not something I could say for even Takamine-san, which is being done by what seems like a bigger budget. It's not a short. Even that show is falling apart. This show knows how to look good, and it's got great designs. I love Makina's design. She's got that kind of gyaru type of style to her. But yeah, to your credit there, I think obviously Takamine is trying to be more rom-com. It's trying to make some sort of romance between the two of them. Whether you want to believe that or not is up to you. Yandere Elf is just going down the route of just constantly just kind of thirsty Yandere and just constantly throwing ecchi, but the ecchi looks horrible. With this one, it's just kind of doing a nice balance of having the comedy with the ecchi. And yeah, even more so with the nudity. It's just doing very well at just kind of constantly hitting that. Don't try to do anything else special. Don't try to do something stupid with it. Just keep doing this and keep it funny. And that's all I asked for. And it's pulling that off. Again, the whole bath scene, and they're just going, is this it right here? Your intestines are falling out. No, that's my thing. He's like, oh, it's your prostate. No, I need to push back in there. And then she gets out like this probing device. He's like, literally stop. At which point they like stumble, and then suddenly she's on top of him still, but her head's over there. Her head's on the ground over there. Like, why am I looking at myself? Yeah, you fell apart again, Makina. There's these goofy little moments where she just kind of falls apart and you have to put her back together. Just the absurdity of what she is and how she's supposed to be this love bot that has no clue what she's doing, but yeah, she's just trying so hard. Again, him basically claiming that he doesn't want to take advantage of her because it would be an insult to all women, and taking advantage of a robot female body. And he's like, that's literally what I am. You're literally calling the existence of me disgusting. And she starts crying. He's like, why are you crying? Why is a love bot crying? It's funny in that whole aspect. I really am getting a huge kick out of it, and their chemistry is working out. Yeah, I am a little bit bothered by Ita's typical protagonist eternal virgin type of thing, but at least it's doing well to offset it because she doesn't know what she's doing. Like, that is sort of helping it because she doesn't know how it works. So there is sort of a a counterbalance there where it's not just him being dysfunctional, not wanting it. It's also the fact that she doesn't know what she's doing. That does kind of add a little bit mixed in there. But even still, if they can keep it to just having these goofy moments where it's already laying out the idea that, and you kind of give it with the idea of them being AI, that there is a sense here that she could be some sort of advanced technology. It does seem like she is, getting a sense of embarrassment when it comes to being called a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. Like, I've never been on a date with a girlfriend, and she's like, "What? You call me a girlfriend?" And she starts blushing. He's like, "You were just trying to bang me earlier, and this is upsetting you? This is getting you flustered as being called a girlfriend?" There's that kind of funny aspect to it that I do get a kick out of, but it's been good. It's been good so far. I do get a kick out of so far what they've been doing with two of them. Not that I really expect anything to come of it, but it could turn into some fun stuff going forward in the future. I don't know that we've met anybody really else. I mean, they did show the AI researcher that's working. I don't know if she's going to be directly tied in with Makina. I'm assuming she will be. Probably was that whole explosion, but
no, the explosion was probably Alma. We'll find out.
That's what I meant. It's a researcher.
Oh, she was the researcher?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
It definitely wasn't me, mommy me, the BL artist. She's doing like some crazy BL art, and it blew up her computer or something. Anyways, yeah, I'm liking it. Visually, it looks good, and can't wait for more. Yeah, that's right. She got the uniform from Mommy Me, and then suddenly like Etta is even more like flustered about her, and she's like, "Oh, so this is what really kind of gets you turned on or whatever." It's like this whole aspect of, I guess it does make sense because the one that you fell in love with originally was in this outfit. So here, you want a quick peek? Just skirt over his head. It's great. I'm loving it. Looking forward to more. It's, again, if you're looking for the ecchi show of the season, this is it. Like I can't think of any. Is there any other ecchi shows besides those three? That's the three, right? Like, even like any of the like all the other like harem shows aren't really like ecchi. Like, they don't show much. Like, even with like Ballpark, there's no pantsu or anything. It's not really ecchi at all. Even boy-girl relationship, friendship, that's not really shown. Oh, Fire Force. There's the other ecchi show of the season. Oh, I had to bring it up. Even country the countryman trainer guy, Osan, that one doesn't even have any ecchi in it at all, and I was kind of expecting that to have some ecchi. Yeah, I think that's literally the three. I mean, there's a little bit of ecchi in Witch Watch. A little bit of ecchi in Witch Watch. Oh, Sunji Family. I guess Sunji Family's got at least one ecchi shot per episode. But those three are like the ones with like nudity. So they're like next level type of stuff. They're next level stuff. But Makina-san, seemingly so far on Oceanville, is not censored, so. Which Takamine is getting another censored episode.
Oh, yeah.
They had another delayed until Tuesday released, which implies, again, back to my theory that they have the less censored version, and they're getting it early whenever the uncensored and less censored are the same. And every time that there's some stickering happen, they're delaying. And I looked at the raw version that was released last week on ATX. Surprisingly, how do I say this without upsetting you? I'll just say it. Fully unmosaicked shot.
Oh, really?
I'm like, that? I guess it's on Anime Festa in Japan. Maybe they have different like restrictions there, but I was pretty sure that there was Japanese law against. Wasn't there? Like, they have to mosaic it.
As far as I know.
I was very surprised by that. Unless they're just, because it was pretty much the whole thing. Like, we got, like, it was her on her back, obviously, and it's panning down, and it gets down to where it gets down to her, like, between, like, her thigh. Like, you see the line. It's very quick, and it cuts away very quick, but I'm like, that was straight up it. Okay. I didn't think that was legally allowed. I'm not sure how they got away with that, but good on you, I guess. Anyways, that was a side tangent there, but I'm guessing that was probably the shot that's going to be stickered. So expect that for next week for Takamine. Otherwise, you can watch Makina-san Oceanville completely uncensored, apparently. So I don't know that for sure. I don't even have an account with them. Don't take my word for it. I thought about reaching out to them to get an account set up, but I've been too lazy lately. So sorry, Oceanville. Call me. I don't care. I don't care. I'm getting it through direct Japanese services. Sorry, Oceanville. You guys can hit me up, though. Dude, this has got on AniList a 56. Makina-san has a 56. At least it's 1 point above Yandere Elf. Where's Takamine-san? So we have 55, 56, and then what is Takamine-san? There it is. 57. 55, 56, 57. And you guys have Takamine-san as the highest. You need to bring that down 2 notches. Anyways, that's it for today. I think, Chris. I think that's it for today. So next week, Chris will try to watch Summer Pockets, Ushijin Mumu, and Two Perfect Saint at least.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that.
Maybe from I thought you watched Country Old Man to Master Swordsman. The Paul show.
Don't think no. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to watch a lot of shows. Life is not allowing.
Did we cover Evil Lord already?
Yes, I believe we covered it. At least, I'm almost positive we have.
I don't have it listed anywhere, so I don't think we covered it. I may have talked.
Oh, I did watch that.
Why is it not over here?
Or I started it. Something like that.
Yeah, because it was like the first show to release.
He had a really brutal other life. That was brutal.
Yeah, it was cheesy. Super
it was like, it's like, okay, at some point you kind of lay off. You're becoming unreasonable.
I was waiting for the daughter to have like derp face moment and start stabbing him with a knife and saying, I was manipulating the other father for this entire time. It turns out the daughter was behind it all. I mean, it does imply the idea the spirit being is manipulating it all. Did we not cover Witch Watch yet either? I'm missing so much from my list. So we have so much left to do next week. We have so much left to do next week. We also have Witch Watch. Did we not do Witch Watch? I'm gonna have to double check my podcast because I'm feeling like I'm putting doubles on stuff.
We did Witch's Death.
Yeah, I know that one. Talking about Witchy Watch You. Witchy Watch You. With a lolly spell. The turn yourself into a lolly spell. I think that's everything else. You didn't watch Teogonia, the other Isekai show, right?
Probably not. I don't know.
It's like the one where like he's in some village and then they get attacked and he awakens to the fact that he was an Isekai before or something like that. He gets magic because he recalls his previous life.
No, I don't recognize that one.
Spot, Takamine-san, Apocalypse, GQuuuuuX, Shinji, Aru, Ballpark, Lecture Logs. Damn it, we have so much left to do next week. We might do 5. I don't know. We'll see. We might do 5.
It's too many shows.
Because I might get rid of like Liquid Coil and Go-Go Loser Ranger. Probably won't cover those shows. I don't think I'm gonna cover Hio unless I watch some more of that this next week and I actually like it. The tubby isekai. Fatty isekai. Fatty isekai. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna get a chance to watch Uma Musume. I haven't been able to find that one anywhere. I think that was unlicensed. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode as always. If you did, make sure to hit the like button down below or leave us a rating on your podcast use of choice. But we appreciate you guys' support. Again, we're at otakuspirit.com. That's where all of our links are to social media, ways to support us, all that good jazz. We greatly, greatly appreciate everybody. And until next time, you'll take care.
Os.